Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we are going to draw this jar of pickled peppers using watercolor markers and some accents with gouache, or actually watercolor crayons, and white pen. This is a lot of fun. I did this for the prompt spicy for Inktober, and you can find a real-time version of this lesson up in Critique Club right now, and there'll be a link in the video description to take you there. It's $5 a month, and you get access to over 100 real-time, more in-depth tutorials than I post here on YouTube, and it's a lot of fun. You can also post your own work for feedback from me if you want to, so check that out in the video description if you are interested. I started off with a quick pencil sketch here, and I am using my phone for a reference photo, but I did put the photo up on the screen to make it a little bit easier for you to see. I love mason jars. I love painting bouquets in mason jars, canned goods. I don't know what it is exactly, but I've always loved just a simple mason jar. I even love to store stuff in mason jars at my house. So yeah, I never met a jar I didn't like. You should see my utility room. I just have like boxes and boxes of spaghetti sauce jars that I think are cute. It's a problem really, but yeah, I love taking the ordinary stuff, the mundane stuff, and, you know, using it for my art because it lets people see the beauty in those types of things, in my opinion. I love how the pickles are kind of, the pickled peppers are floating in the brine. I think that's kind of cool how you have that gap at the bottom. And I haven't used my water-based markers in a while, and I really, really like these. These are the Faber-Castell watercolor markers, and I really took a chance on these. I bought the set of 30, which is like the entire collection of colors, and I got them at Blick. They had a pretty good price on them. They're still, I think, about $50 off retail on Blick, so I'll put a link to the video description if you want to check it out. I think they're about the same price on Amazon too. I'll put a link to both in case you're interested. But the thing I really like about these is that they're light fast. So I'm working in my sketchbook now, so it doesn't matter. I could use any old water-based markers, even Crayola if I wanted to. But I do like the fact that if I decide that I want to frame something, I don't have to worry about it fading. So one difference between watercolor from like a pan set or tubes and these watercolor markers would be that the pigments they use in the watercolor markers, and this will go for whether you're using the Faber-Castell ones or the Winsor & Newton watercolor markers, they're both, they're the only two brands that I know that use light fast pigments in their watercolor markers. The big difference between that and say paint from a tube or from a pan is that the pigments they use in these markers are going to be your more staining colors, because pigments like your iron oxide, your mineral pigments like, you know, cadmiums and iron and other other metals, cobalts, whatnot, those are thick and they're not going to pass through a felt nib, which is what these markers are. So like your ultramarine, if you get an ultramarine marker, it's going to be an proximity or a cobalt or a burnt sienna or a burnt umber. They're going to be mixing other colors to make those pigments. So when you add water to them, they may not react or mix exactly the way you would expect if you were using like a kind of more traditional set of watercolors. These will act a little bit more like if you're using Peerless watercolor or like the Viviva color sheets. They look a lot more like that just because of the type of pigments they need to use, the more dye-like pigments. Now they did choose light fast colors, which is wonderful. You can get light fast colors that are very dye-like. You know, it just depends on what they're using for the colorant. But these are a lot of fun. I enjoy them. I think the reason I don't use them very often is because they were in this like, I had kept them in the cardboard box they came in for quite a while. Well, I actually ended up putting them in a marker case. And if I can find it, I will link it down below. But it's by Artify, and it's it holds like 48 markers and that's it. And like big chunky ones, kind of like your alcohol ones. And I have the set of 30 of the Faber-Castell ones. And then I have some random Winsor & Newton ones. So it worked out perfectly for the amount of markers I had. It's probably not a big enough case if you're using it for alcohol markers, since you generally want more alcohol markers. But watercolor markers blend so well that you don't need to have a huge selection. I'm glad that there's only 30 colors in this line, honestly, because I really don't feel like you need a lot. I only used probably 8 colors in this. But I do think it's a really nice set. You can get any of these markers open stock too, so you can just buy the colors you want. That's what I did with the Winsor & Newton ones when they first came out, because they were like $7 a pop. And I'm like, I am going to just pick a couple, pick and choose. The Faber-Castells in the set are a little more affordable. And I can't remember what they were open stock, but Blick does carry them open stock if you just want to get a few. But they're a lot of fun, and I love the fact that they're light fast. So if you do want to work with markers, but you've shied away from using alcohol markers because they fade, this is a nice option. And I love the fact that you don't need to have so many. So you can see that you can use them right from the marker, right on paper dry. You can scribble them onto a plate and use them like you're using a palette. I just want to show you that case there in case you were wondering, like in case you're trying to visualize it. If I can find it, I will link it up. It wasn't available last time I checked, but it's such a nice size. You could also put a pack of fine liners and a sketchbook in there and, have everything you need for like, I don't know, I like to take these up on the couch and paint. Now, this little palette that you're seeing is actually the shavings from my watercolor crayons, my Caran d'Ache Neocolor 2 crayons. So anytime I need to sharpen a crayon, I just sharpen it in a palette, and then I just add water and I can lift it up like gouache. It works great, and that way I don't waste anything and I don't have to feel bad if I'm sharpening the crayons. The crayons last forever, and actually they've been a really good price on Blick. I think they've been about $1.58 a crayon, which is a phenomenal price for how long they last. So I'd highly recommend some of those too. They're just, I feel like I'm using a lot of products I really love that I don't use often enough in this piece, which is kind of fun. I really ought to get those out a little more too. And isn't it fun when you kind of go back to things that you've kind of forgot that you really enjoyed? It's kind of like when you were a kid, if your mother told you to go clean your room, and then you'd start off cleaning and then you'd find something you totally forgot about, and then you would end up just playing with that all afternoon and your room would still be a disaster, but that's probably why your parents set you to go clean your room, so you'd remember all the stuff that you have. I'm kind of like that too when I go and clean my my craft room or my art studio, because I always find something. It's like, oh yeah, I remember this. This was so cool. And it's better than shopping. It's better than shopping because you've already paid for this stuff, so it's basically free for you to use, and it can kind of put the want monster back in the cage, if you know what I mean. I know, like, I will watch a tutorial sometimes and I'm like, oh, I want to try that, and then when I think about it, it's like, wow, that product is very similar to something I already have. I was watching somebody use Art Graph Tailor Chalks today, and I was like, oh yeah, those are so similar to Inktense. And, once you realize what products are similar to other products you already have, it's really easy to just kind of substitute in your own studio instead of, filling up your shopping cart. Like, for instance, the watercolor crayons, how I'm using them here in a palette, it's basically gouache. So if you have gouache, you're good to go. If you've got tempera paint, you can use those. If you've got Inktense blocks, you could use those. If you've got, really, you could probably find something that will work. If you don't have white paint pens, you could use a fine brush and some white acrylic paint. I really like these Uniball Signo white pens. I get them in a 3-pack on Amazon for $6. They don't wear out as quickly as other white gel pens I've used. These are pretty thick. Like, they are pretty, that's probably why they last so long, because the nib is a little bit thicker, so it doesn't clog as easily. But I do have some Jelly Roll and some Arteza that are a little bit slimmer that I'll use, but these are by far my favorite. They just are so reliable. And if I have to recommend a white gel pen, I always recommend this one. Others just don't seem to last as long for me. And then the other white pen that I'm using today that I really like is by Mr. Pen, and they come in a pack of 6 for $6, and they're just kind of more of a bullet tip, but they're very opaque, they're very reliable. I feel like I have one stashed in every travel art bag I have, because it's just that useful. And I just love how opaque they are. You just, with both of those products, you just put a line down and you're good to go. You don't have to keep going over the same area to get the opacity. And it just works out really well for me, especially for Inktober, where I'm using a lot of really transparent inks, and I want to go back in there and get those highlights. So highly recommend those products. They're kind of handy to have in your like save for later cart. That way, if you are placing an order and you need a couple more bucks just to get you to free shipping, you can grab those. Now, one thing I'll warn you about gel pens, don't open them all at once. So if you get that 3-pack, I would just take one out, use it up before you open the next one. I mean, granted, I do have a few kits that I take out, so I have a gel pen in each one, but if you want your gel pens to last the longest, don't open them all at once. Open one, use it up, then open the next one and use it up, and use them frequently, because gel pens that are just left in a drawer unused, once you've started them, they will dry up. so using them keeps them good. So if you are going to use gel pens, just remind yourself to use them. The more you use them, the longer they'll last. I know that sounds weird. You're probably like, I'll run out of ink, but trust me, I've never run out of ink on a gel pen. It's always, they've eventually dried out. So the more often you use them, no matter what brand they are, the better they're going to do. Now I'm using the bullet tip on these, on this marker just to do some final shadows, just to make the lettering stand out a little bit more. Now I did use a little colored pencil here and there, and I was just using a clear alcohol marker to smooth out the colored pencil. But yeah, you can use the pens dry. You can blend them out after you've colored with them. They're really a fantastic tool, and I highly recommend giving them a try. But you can use any water-based markers you have for this. Really play, have fun, use what you have, and enjoy. And if you'd like to see this in real time, check it out in Critique Club. There is a link in the video description, and I'd love to have you as a member. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.